In 2015, Elon Musk declared that we would have completely autonomous and self-driving cars in approximately 2 years.
Tesla car next year will probably be 90% capable of autopilot.
Then, in 2016, he once again promised that within 2 years, you'd be able to summon your car from across the country.
When will they be able to?
I think we're still on track for being able to go cross country from LA to New York by the end of the year, fully autonomous.
Meanwhile, Ford and BMW and Volvo, they all jumped on the bandwagon, claiming that they would each have driverless cars on the roads by 2021. In 2017, Elon Musk stated that Tesla could achieve some level of full self-driving cars within 2 years, and in 3 years, autonomous cars would be driving better than humans. 2019 had Musk proclaiming that Tesla would have 1 million autonomous robo-taxis within a year.
I feel very confident predicting autonomous robo-taxis for Tesla next year.
And in 2020, he announced that he was literally driving a self-driving car. 2022 saw a glimmer of hope as GM's Cruise became the first autonomous car manufacturer to receive permission to carry passengers in unmanned cars in San Francisco, while simultaneously, Mercedes-Benz and Honda both announced that they had been certified at Level 3 automation, raising anticipation for the real possibility that autonomous cars were just around the corner. And by 2023, both Waymo and Cruise had received regulatory approval to launch 24/7 commercial robo-taxi services in San Francisco. But sadly, the experiment quickly encountered numerous issues, including crashes and traffic jams. We're now in 2024, and Elon Musk is still at it with his latest announcement that the Tesla robo-taxi will be unveiled in August of this year. So, why is it then that many great companies keep underestimating the challenge of making autonomous driving into a reality? Hi everyone. Today I'm going to give you the 4 big reasons why the world won't be filled with driverless cars anytime soon. But let's start with the technical challenges. One of the primary technical obstacles is the limitation of sensors. Self-driving cars rely on cameras and radar and lidar in order to perceive their environment. While we have come a long way, adverse weather conditions, like heavy rain and fog, snow and such, can all still obstruct and impair their functionality. Another hurdle is handling unpredictable real-world situations. For instance, in 2022, a fleet of Cruise's robotaxis in San Francisco drove themselves to an intersection, stopped, and brought traffic to a standstill for hours until engineers could remove them. Another example is when a Tesla car misinterpreted a red Wells Fargo banner as a stop sign, and that caused it to engage the brakes unexpectedly. A serious issue also faced is called edge cases. And what that means is situations that are rare but can also be critical. For example, self-driving cars may not recognize a pedestrian dressed in an unusual costume or accurately interpret hand signals from a traffic officer. Training a computer to react to something that no one can predict in advance is really hard. Additionally, the processing power required for autonomous driving is immense. For example, NVIDIA's latest Drive Orin chip, designed for self-driving cars, delivers 254 trillion operations per second. Tesla uses 2 custom AI chips, designed to handle 36 trillion operations per second each. And even with this kind of incredible processing power, well, there's still a long way to go. But an even bigger challenge to large-scale deployment of self-driving cars is safety concerns. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration disclosed that a 3-year autopilot safety investigation identified at least 13 Tesla crashes involving 1 or more deaths, and many more involving serious injuries. Moreover, drivers get a false sense of security by overestimating the capabilities of their semi-autonomous cars. Many accidents have occurred because drivers just weren't paying attention, believing that their car could handle all of the driving tasks. The NHTSA investigation also raised concerns about the autopilot name and how drivers might misinterpret it. For example, one Tesla driver admitted to using autopilot and checking his phone when his car had collided with a motorcycle, and that resulted in the motorcyclist's death. In another unfortunate incident in March of 2018, Apple engineer Walter Huang crashed his Tesla Model X while it was on autopilot. The car entered the median of a highway ramp and hit a barrier. The NHTSA investigation confirmed that the vehicle was using autopilot at the time and found that Huang was playing a video game on his phone during the crash. These incidents also highlight another major issue that's hindered the progress of self-driving cars, and that's legal challenges. One big challenge is determining liability in the event of an accident. Who should be blamed when a self-driving car is involved in a crash? The driver, the car, the manufacturer, or the software developer? Regulatory approval is another major challenge. Different countries, and even states within countries, have varying regulations regarding autonomous vehicles. In the United States, the NHTSA has been actively assessing and setting autonomous vehicle guidelines. In 2022, it approved Waymo and Cruise's launch of 24/7 commercial robot services in San Francisco. However, within only a few months, it had to suspend both services after the authorities received numerous complaints. While both have cautiously restarted their work, the robot concept is still under scrutiny. Another regulatory concern is data privacy and cybersecurity. Autonomous vehicles collect vast amounts of data in order to operate safely, raising questions about how this data is stored and used and protected. Security from cyber attacks is also essential in gaining public trust in self-driving cars. And lastly, the impact of programming decisions in life-threatening scenarios is a huge legal concern. For example, how should a car react in an unavoidable accident scenario? What if the choice is between killing one person or killing three? The fourth big problem is the economic and infrastructural barrier. One of the primary concerns is the high cost of technology. Developing and deploying self-driving cars requires substantial investment in hardware, such as lidar sensors, high-performance computing units, and advanced AI systems. Oh, and also consider this. Tesla has spent over $1 billion on its Dojo supercomputer, specifically designed to train its neural networks for autonomous driving. Waymo has similarly invested about $5.5 billion in funding over the years, while Cruise has seen about $3.75 billion in investments, all in order to create a fully operational fleet of autonomous vehicles. While money may not be such a problem outside of the company's investments, the infrastructure needed to make self-driving a reality is a whole different challenge. Our current roadways and traffic signals, urban planning, it's just not designed to support autonomous cars. Systems like vehicle-to-infrastructure communication and smart traffic management solutions are essential for the safe and efficient operation of autonomous vehicles. Upgrading the infrastructure would require both the government and the private sector to invest billions of dollars together. Even if the physical infrastructure could be built, the carbon emissions that would emerge from the massive computing power needed to implement such a large-scale autonomous driving project is a huge issue. According to a study by MIT, 1 billion autonomous vehicles, each driving for 1 hour per day with a computer that consumes 840 watts, would consume enough energy to generate about the same amount of emissions as a data center. And lastly, the widespread adoption of self-driving cars could lead to significant job loss in driving-related professions. Everything from truck drivers to taxi operators and more. Policymakers are going to have to figure out a way to answer this challenge as well. So why is it then that despite all of these problems, industry leaders constantly claim that self-driving cars are very near to reality? Well, the problem is vested interests and false narratives. Companies amplify optimistic statistics about their readiness and safety, and Tesla just loves to showcase how FSD beta users had only 0.31 accidents per million miles, and with autopilot engaged, only 0.18 accidents per million miles, as against the industry average of 1.53 accidents per million miles. While it sounds impressive, it also fails to account for the fact that autopilot is primarily used on highways, which are statistically safer than city streets. Comparing these figures to the industry standard is kind of like comparing apples to oranges. Overall, despite enormous investments and technological advancements, fully autonomous vehicles remain a distant dream. Technical challenges, safety concerns, legal hurdles, economic barriers, and infrastructural issues all continue to helm the enormous project. So then, will we see truly self-driving cars anytime in the near future? Be sure to let me know your thoughts below. And if you found this video insightful, make sure to like and share and subscribe to Business Boss for more deep dives into the world of business. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.